my god, it's Emma and Bayleigh in the same frame for the first time in a long time. This is just crazy. I made pasta. What do you rate it? 10. Yeah, it's so good. But today, we're here to talk about conspiracy theories. Dun dun dun. But basically this whole video is gonna be like an hour-long rant of Emma and Helen Keller. For real. There it is. That's the first. There will be many more, I promise. But first we're gonna chow down. BRB. This is our pasta, BT dubs. It's good. Yeah. Yeah. I think that we live in a simulation. Hey, this is not diss on Emma time, okay? I'm not. You are. Okay. Okay. I think we live in a simulation. It's... Sorry. When I become president in 2024, fucking 2024! Remember that video of Kanye? He's like, when I run for president, and he goes, why y'all laughing? I'm laughing. Anyway. Explain this simulation. There's just too much happens to me that, like, shouldn't happen. You know? No, like what? I already told. Oh, I'm sorry. Whenever you find things that you have two of, do you want to fight? What's with the attitude? I took a drink. You went. No. Yeah. Replay that. Rewind. I took a drink. Zoom in. That you have two of, but you went. No, I didn't! I didn't roll my eyes. You did a little eyebrow thing. I can't control them. Mind of their own, I don't know. Hey guys. We're back. The camera died. The camera died, so we took a little pause. You're on it. Sorry. All of it. Sorry. It's so cold. Yeah, the camera died, so while it was charging, I showered. I took my makeup off. But what were we talking about? You were talking about the simulation? I think we live in a simulation. I will not explain any further. No? No. Your turn. I don't think I had any other ones. I think Tupac's still alive. Oh god. Why? I just think that he is. There's research behind it, I don't have it in my head right now. But there's research. She said scientists. You mean it's theorized? Yes, it's a conspiracy theory. There's reasons why I think that. I just don't have them all like in my head. Like I've seen lots of things and I believe everything I see on the internet. So I think Tupac is still alive. I think he faked his death. What's the rapper? Did Tupac get shot in the side of his face? I don't know the gory details. Okay, hold on. There's a reason. It was Tupac. Wait, but Tupac didn't get shot in the face. Everybody thinks Playboi Carti and Tupac are the same person. Like, everybody thinks Playboi Carti was reincarnated. Is Tupac reincarnated? Why? They don't even sound the same. Well, no, because Tupac got shot on the same day that Playboi Carti was born. Like, he died the day that Playboi Carti was born. And Tupac got shot in his cheek. And Playboi Carti has a birthmark in his cheek. Like, that's a big-ass birthmark. That shit's fucking crazy. But did you see Playboi Carti just got, like, arrested for domestic violence? Or, like... Why? No, I didn't know that. So I don't think it's Tupac. Well, that... they have their differences, but like everybody thinks I say everybody. Certain people think that Playboi Carti is Tupac.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I've looked into that before. I think that's just crazy.
That is crazy.
But they were literally, Tupac died the day that he was born, like same year and everything. That's insane.
Yeah, that is
and I think
crazy.
Tupac got shot in the left side of his face, and that's where Playboi Carti's.
Yeah, that's the part that gets me.
I know, that's what I'm saying.
The
birthmark's crazy, because I've always heard that like birthmarks are like how you died in your past life. Like if you have like a crazy birthmark, that's how you died.
I have a birthmark, but it's not crazy.
Yeah, if you have like a crazy one, that's supposed to be like what happened.
Oh.
So like, it kind of makes sense. Also, I think mermaids are real. And the Loch Ness Monster.
Explain the Loch Ness Monster. Honestly, explain both of those. Break those down.
I just think that like,
what makes you think mermaids are real?
whenever it comes to, I don't think that mermaids are real. I think that sirens are real.
If you see the difference.
No.
Well, I know the difference, but like, sea people.
Yes, I think that they're real because like, who the fuck made that up? Like, you have to see something that makes you think that those are real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I've always thought that.
Like, you have to see something. Like, no one was just like, what if I put a tail on a human? And just like, you know, who thought of that? Nobody. They saw some shit that was like, ooh.
Sus.
Yeah, literally. It's like, what? But like, you just, like, no one just makes stuff up like that.
But what if it was just like a weird shaped fish that...
But like, there's so many people. Like, it wasn't just one person that just came up with the idea of mermaids.
It could be.
But I don't think that that's true. Who the fuck was that? Where are they credited? Trademark!
Maybe trademark. That's like a huge like legend from so long ago.
Exactly. Because it
There
started...
were no trademarks!
But listen, it started as some sort of legend. So a long time ago, whenever stories and legends were a thing, nobody just made that up. Somebody saw some shit to make them think that that was real. You know what I mean? Like, it just kind of makes sense. Also, I think that there's what?
One of the earliest mermaid legends appeared in Syria around 1000 BC when the goddess Atargatis?
Sure.
Something like that. Dove into a lake to take the form of a fish, as the gods there would not allow her to give up her great beauty. Only her bottom half became a fish, and she kept her top half in human form.
That's crazy.
I need to look into that. I want to know why she wanted to give up her beauty.
Yeah, right? Why do you want to be a fish? Tell me more.
Well, I don't think that was entirely what it was. They, like, didn't want her to not be beautiful, but she wanted to not be beautiful, so they made half of her a fish, but not the top half.
That's like the part that matters.
Yeah, exactly, because they wanted to look at her beautiful face.
But that did nothing for her, except give her not legs. You know how pissed I'd be?
It's like the Little Mermaid.
But that she got the opposite. She got what she wanted. She got the man and the legs. Fuck.
Prince Eric.
No. But I think that lots of sea things are real. I don't think that there's a way to like rule out what's real and what's not real whenever it comes to like the ocean. Just because there's so much fucking ocean, and that shit goes so deep.
A lot of ocean.
Like but there's so much, and they all connect. Like all the oceans technically connect. And like once you get to like the deepest parts of the like we can't go down there. We can't go down to the deep parts of the ocean like that. What the fuck is down there? No idea. Why do you think I have thalassophobia? I'm scared of what the fuck is in the ocean. Absolutely terrified of the ocean.
What is it called?
Thalassophobia.
Thalassophobia? Fear of the ocean?
It's the fear of like deep seawater. It's like the fear of like deep water. You know, I used to think that there were crocodiles in swimming pools.
I just think there were sharks in swimming pools.
Yeah, I still get stressed out sometimes. I'm like, what the fuck? I can literally see my feet, but like, what if?
Yeah, I don't do like lakes and shit.
See, whenever I go to the lake, I have to just not think about it. Like, I have to just get my mind off of it because it stresses me out so bad. It's like, what the fuck is in there? Lakes aren't even that deep. I could jump to the bottom of a lake if I wanted to, but you know what? That shit's scary.
It was just jump into the bottom of a lake.
You can. Lakes are not that deep. Like you can jump. Well, I mean, yeah, but like the ones that I go to, like you could jump and like touch the bottom.
Because I immediately thought the Great Lakes. Those are deep as hell.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't go to the Great Lakes. Okay, I go to fucking Oklahoma lakes. Like, I don't know what you want. But like, you can jump to the bottom and touch the bottom of those lakes. But like, I still have no idea what's down there, and I don't want to know what's down there. It may only be 15 feet deep, but I don't give a shit. What's down there?
What if there's like a boat?
And I can't even see it. Can't even see what's down there. And you know what? The ocean is worse for me, and I don't know why. But I'm terrified of the ocean.
Have you ever thought about the Bermuda Triangle?
No. What do you think about the Bermuda Triangle?
I'm 50-50. Like, I'll never personally even attempt to cross through the Bermuda Triangle. But since I won't try it, I can't really, I can't knock it. Yeah, so it goes from Miami, Florida to San Juan, Puerto Rico, and then like out to Bermuda. And it's that triangle.
Huh. It's a big ass triangle.
It
So like,
is.
what's the thought behind it? Like, things just get lost there?
That's an easily avoidable area.
Yeah,
in my opinion.
But like, what is the full thought behind it? Like, things just go in there and they get lost and they never come out, or like, what is that? Like, how does it work?
Basically, like, we'll read it. This is the Wikipedia page, so we can't trust everything, but we're gonna get the gist.
Okay.
Bermuda Triangle is also known as the Devil's Triangle. It's an urban legend focused on a loosely defined region in the western part of the North Atlantic Ocean, where a number of aircrafts and ships are said to have disappeared under mysterious circumstances. The idea of the area as uniquely prone to disappearances arose in the mid-20th century, but most reputable source dismiss the idea that there is any mystery.
See, my thing is, I think that aliens are real. Okay. So I think that anything that like,
Oh my god! Insert the TikTok of the alien in Australia.
Oh, whoa. Standing right there. Let me try and zoom in. Holy crap. What do you want? What the fuck? Why are you walking away?
okay.
Go ahead.
Okay. I think that aliens are real, so I think that any like mysterious disappearances are because of them. Like, I don't think that like necessarily the Bermuda Triangle is like a real thing.
Do you think it's aliens over the Bermuda Triangle?
Well, I think that it's aliens and like they just found a way to cover it up.
The aliens did not create the fucking Bermuda Triangle.
Well, no, but like I feel like
I get what you're saying, but that's not
what I'm trying to say. But like, what makes sense to me is like, I don't necessarily like things. I was taught in science that matter cannot be created nor destroyed, so I don't think that things can just disappear. Like, they don't disappear; they go somewhere. You know what I mean? And like, what the fuck is a triangle? Like, where does it go? I mean, I know what a triangle is. Triangles are my favorite shapes. Like, what is that triangle? Like,
I don't know.
is it like weirdly deep water, or like I need a little bit more science behind it. Like, I know it's not all science and like there's some shit you just have to believe, but like I need something else.
It's not that like there's like a science to it, or like originally there was a bunch of like planes and boats that got lost there, like in that area, and people were like, oh, it's like in this area, and it like created that triangle of like it's somewhere within this square footage. I don't know.
Yeah. It's like, I understand that, like, people were just like, oh, like, things have kind of, like, things are weird here. You know what I mean? Like, things are weird in this triangle of space, right?
Yeah.
From here to here to here. Like, it's weird. But, like, I can't just be like, oh, yeah, it is weird. And that's, if I go there, I'm going to disappear and never show up again. No, I need some science behind it. Like, if it's real, I need to know, like, because there has to be a reason why. Like, they don't just disappear. There has to be some sort of reasoning behind it. Is the water deeper? Is the water, like, rougher? Are the storms worse? Like, there has to be something. Are there more, like, wild, like, creatures there? You know what I mean?
I don't know, but they still have not found anything.
So, like, I'm sure that there's boats that sink there, but there has to be a reason why. Like, they don't just disappear for no reason.
But, like, without the actual physical boat, we don't know why it sank.
I know, but that's, like, why has nobody gone out there to, like...
They have. They can't find it. That's what I just said. The USS Cyclops, the incidents resulting in a single largest loss of life in the history of the U.S. Navy, not related to combat, occurred when the Kohler Cyclops carried a full load of... I'm not trying to pronounce that. With one engine out of action, went missing without a trace.
See?
March 4th of 1918, after departing from Barbados.
See? Another reason. First one, what did it say? Inexperienced people on the boat that didn't know what to do. Second one, only one engine was working. Partially all reasons. Like, they all just kind of add up, you know what I mean? Like, there's lots of boats that went missing in other places for the same reasons, but there just happens to be more there because that's where, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Flight 19. I know that this one was pretty popular. Like, I've heard of this. It was a train flight of TBM Avenger torpedo bombers that disappeared on March 5th, 1945, while over the Atlantic. The squadron flight plan was scheduled to take them due east from Fort Lauderdale and then back over whatever. The flight never returned to base. The disappearance was attributed by Navy investigators. Whoa. Navy investigators to navigational error leading to aircraft running out of fuel. One of the search and rescue aircraft deployed to look for them, which is a PBM Mariner, sure, with a 13-man crew, also disappeared. A tanker off the coast of Florida reported seeing an explosion and observing a widespread oil slick while searching for survivors. And by the end of the incident, the weather had become stormy. The Mariner had a history of explosions due to vapor leaks when heavily loaded with fuel, as it might have been for a potential long search and rescue. Okay, I see your point. And how, like, these, like, ships and these planes, like, already have problems going into the Bermuda Triangle.
Mm-hmm.
But what are the odds that, like, these problems, like, become a major problem and factor when in this area?
That's what I'm saying. Like, there has to be, like, where storms or the waters are rougher, or, like, there's got to be something else going on. Like, I don't think that they just...
But even the planes.
Storms. It's still storms in the fucking air. Where do you think it comes from?
But all three... Okay, so, like, that flight, right? Like, multiple aircrafts in the same, like, group all go missing. Like,
Mm-hmm.
no one made it through there. Yeah.
But you said that they explode, right?
No. The second one, like the search and rescue crafts that went out there, which was a bigger plane that holds like a crew.
Okay, but it's not 13 different planes. It's one other plane that also has a history of leaking vapor.
No. The first group that originally went missing was a like flock of planes. It was like 4 or 5 like fighter pilots, but like the old ones. Okay, like Top Gun, those 4 flying through the Bermuda Triangle trying to get back to somewhere. Anyways, flying through, they all go missing. Like, all 4 of them, no trace. They send out, like, the rescue squad to like fly out there, see if any of them are like floating in the water or what, because they never made it back to the base. And then that plane that has the rescue squad has the history of like vapor explosions and stuff. And that one boat claimed they saw an explosion, but they never recovered anything.
Mm-hmm.
And then, what is it? Something about.
So is there like a fucking like sinkhole down there that like sucks some shit up?
That's what I'm saying! See, now you're getting it.
No, like I understand.
Like the boat's okay, because like they
Boats
already had
sink.
problems
and
like
sink anyway. Boats sink all the time.
Storms and shit. But
Planes is a little bit different. I do understand
planes
that.
and boats, crazy.
Boats is fuck boats. They're out of the question. Planes is kind of weird. And I understand, but like there's like all 5 of the planes going missing at the same time. Like I said, there's still got to be something.
Yeah, but like a storm, like okay.
But like, what is the thought behind it? Like, is it like some sort of like?
It's just an urban legend.
Is it like a mythical thing?
It's
like,
just an urban legend. Like it could be true. Like there could be something that just like messes with like radars and everything. We'd have to watch a whole separate video. I know there's separate videos where people like go into really hardcore depth about it. Like, you know, like
is it there? Like, is it because there's like a
radars?
Point? Is it like it's like a point on the Earth that like fucks up the?
I think there's like a crazy gravitational thing.
Yeah, which that makes more sense. That's what I'm saying. Like, that's my point. It's not that I don't believe that things are just having problems there for no reason. It's that I don't believe that
there's no reason.
That's what I don't believe, that there's not a reason. I believe that there's a triangle of like things and there's problems in there, but there has to be a reason for it. Like, it's not just like they go there and they just go missing. Like, I don't think it's just a weird area.
Quinky dink.
Exactly. I don't think it's just like a weird area of like the ocean where like everything just disappears. Like, there has to be a reason. There has to be a big fucking sinkhole in the ocean that like sucks that shit up, or like
she said sinkhole in the ocean.
There's got to be something. There's got to be a reason for it, and I want to know the reason for it now. I need to know the reason behind it.
We'll watch a YouTube video. We'll get well versed in the Bermuda Triangle, and we'll come back
later. Not now, but later.
Yeah, no. But
y'all get the point.
Another video. It'll be a whole video about the Bermuda Triangle.
Yes.
But that reminded me of this thing I saw recently, and I think it was called the Philadelphia experiment, because you'd be like, you know, they can't just like disappear. I saw this on TikTok, and it blew my mind. But let me pull it up so I can get like the for sure story. So if you have a different one you want to talk about while I look this up.
Well, I'm not going to talk about Helen Keller right now, because I need to have more time for that.
Oh, okay.
I think I've talked about all of my other ones that I needed to talk about, though.
Okay, so we're going to talk about the Philadelphia experiment. Now, I don't know if anybody else saw this TikTok. If I can find it, I'll put it in now. If I can't, then whatever. Here we are. Okay, so this was an experiment performed during World War II.
Mm-hmm.
It's the most, we'll just read it. This is from military.com. One of the most grotesque military urban legends ever.
What does grotesque mean?
I don't know.
Okay, cool.
I don't know the exact definition. Okay, so October 28th, 1943, the USS Eldridge, a Cannon-class destroyer escort, was conducting a top-secret experiment designed to win command of oceans against Axis powers.
Can we get this in layman's terms, please?
Okay, so the boat was the USS Eldridge. I don't know what a Cannon-class destroyer escort is. But they were trying to do, it was a top-secret experiment that they were trying to do for their boats to, like, defeat Germany.
Okay.
Or not Germany, the Nazis. My apologies. I just want to clarify.
Okay.
So the rumor was the government was creating technology that would render naval ships invisible to enemy radar. So they were trying to make ships invisible.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? In the Philadelphia Naval Shipyard. And it was time to test it. Dude, this shit was weird as fuck, okay? Witnesses claimed an eerie green to bluish glow surrounded the whole of the ship as, like, the ship started, like, the generators and everything started up. And then the L Ridge disappeared. Like, it did disappear. So the ship was seen in Norfolk Naval Shipyard in Virginia before disappearing again. So it, like, popped over to Virginia from Philadelphia and then reappeared in Philadelphia. That's what it said. Now, the legend states that the classified military documents reported that the El Ridge crew were affected in disturbing ways after this, like, disappearing, reappearing, and then disappearing and then reappearing again. Okay?
Well, duh. Everybody's seen that episode of SpongeBob.
Okay.
Put that picture in.
You have to send me that picture. Now it says that some of the crew went insane. Others developed mysterious illnesses, but some were said to have been fused together
SpongeBob, I'm
with
fucking
the
telling
ship.
you.
Because it was the SpongeBob episode. This is the TikTok I saw. He was literally saying that that episode of SpongeBob was based on this experiment.
No shit.
Yes.
Oh, I just made that up.
No, it was based on it. But they were still alive.
Okay.
And some with their limbs sealed into the metal of the ship.
Well, I mean, that's what happens when you mess with shit like that. Like, you're gonna have side effects.
But not being, like, in the ship. Like, you're not now part of the
Well,
ship.
have you ever transported with something or somebody else?
No, and now I don't want to.
See, I don't want to.
I've seen Harry Potter.
It's just because the way that, like,
splinted.
transporting, like, if that was, like, a real thing, like, or not transporting, teleporting, I guess, is that what it would be called?
No, they were just disappearing. Like, they just wanted
But
it
they
to
were
be
dis-
invisible. Like, the ship itself was still fine and could, like, sail through the ocean, and, like, the crew could still, like, navigate the ship and everything.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that nobody else could see the ship.
Okay. Well, whenever you mess with things, whenever, like, that come to, like, messing with the molecules of how things were put together, learn this from the episode of SpongeBob, BT Dubs. Whenever you mess with, like, molecules and the way that things are made and put together, you change them and you try to put them back. You can't put them back the exact way that they came. So it makes sense that if that is true and it disappeared and then it came back, it makes sense that the molecules were bonded differently, especially since it's not just the ship that disappeared, but technically the people too. Because, like, it's not just floating people. Like, they're on a ship, so, like, if they can't see the ship, they can't see the people either. So you're not just messing with the molecules of the ship. You're messing with the molecules of the people and the ship. So whenever you mess them up, and then, so, like, whenever they're good, and then you mess them up, and then you try to put them back together, they can't be put back together in the exact same way. You know what I mean?
I get what you're saying.
So, like, that
I've not seen the SpongeBob episode.
That's what I'm saying. Like, it makes sense.
They broke it down.
Yeah, that honestly did. I didn't even know that. That's crazy. But, like, that makes sense to me. I didn't even know about that. That's crazy. But
Okay, so there was a guy who studied.
it would make sense if they went insane too, because even if it didn't, like, mend them to the ship, their brain molecules might not be.
Or, like, witnessing people being melded into the ship
Also true.
would fuck me up.
Yeah, well, it's not like you just witnessed; they just, like, melted in there.
Unless they did.
Well, how would that work?
Well, think about it this way. I would rather see the action than, like, 1 minute they're there and then the next minute
They're in the ship.
they're, like, you know,
Yeah.
you've got a face, there's like somebody else's leg is sticking out to the side. Yeah, no, I'd rather slowly watch it happen than just like immediate trauma.
Yeah, I'd want to know why it happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would want to see it too.
I don't want to like, 1 minute we're chatting up about cheese and then the next minute
Where did that come from?
I'm just listening
Sorry.
off.
Okay.
And then the next minute, you know, I blink and you're
You're in the boat?
traumatizing.
Yeah, that's true.
Okay, so this is, I guess, what really happened on the boat. According to Edward Dungeon,
Why do we trust Edward?
who served in the U.S. Navy aboard the USS Ingstrom, which is dry docked in the Philadelphia Naval Yard, while the Elridge was. Both ships did have classified devices on board.
Okay.
They were neither invisibility cloaks nor transportation devices designed by aliens, but instead they scrambled the magnetic signature of ships using some kind of technique which provided protection from magnetic torpedoes aboard U-boats. How stuff works suggested that the green glow reported by witnesses that day could be explained by an electric storm or St. Elmo's fire, which in addition to being an American coming-of-age film starring Brat Pack, is a weather phenomenon in which plasma is created in a strong electric field, giving off a bright glow, almost like fire. Finally, the inland cannons connected to Norfolk to Philadelphia, allowing a ship to travel between the two in just a few hours. The USS Elridge transferred to Greece in 1951 and sold for scrap in the 1990s.
I don't know what to believe. Because I feel like,
Like,
they
the ship doesn't exist anymore, so what?
Well, I think that there's always going to be one guy that's like, well, that actually didn't happen, and this is why, and it's because...
So it's gonna be the one guy that's like, aliens.
Or he's the one that's be like, that's not true. There's a scientific reason behind everything, and it's because somebody paid him. Like, they told him to make that fucking statement, and I know it. Somebody told him, hey, go tell everybody that was fake. Because if it was a secret operation, they don't want everybody telling everybody what the fuck was happening.
No, I agree.
Yeah, so, like, somebody was told to, hey, go, like, do some damage control and, like, fix it. Because, like, I'm sure everybody was freaking out.
I would be.
I would be too. So, like, I'm sure that he was told to go do some damage control. Because, like, electrical storm, shut the fuck up. There was no mention of that at all. Like, previously. It never said, oh, and why would they do some shit like that on a day where there's an electrical storm? They wouldn't. They would wait that shit out.
No, I think they were saying the devices were causing the electrical storm.
But still, like, it's just, I don't know. It doesn't make sense. That end part doesn't make sense to me. But if people were melted into the ship, then how did they sell it for scraps?
Maybe they didn't. Maybe they sent it away. I don't know. Maybe they just like cut everybody.
They cut a big circle around everybody through them.
Yeah, I mean, if half of you is like in a ship, like all you gotta do is cut your arm off. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then just like ship it off to be taken apart and like trashed, I guess. I don't know what you do with like giant metal scraps from a ginormous
Like you put it into other things,
warcraft.
like more boats and like cars and stuff.
Not if there's people in it.
True.
And if you did that, you're disgusting and gross.
Maybe better not have somebody else in her and lose it.
Okay. Anything else?
On that?
Yeah.
No. I don't think. I think that was a good little. It was nice.
Like a little chit chat?
Yeah, nice little chit chat. Guys, should we have a podcast? Soft launch. Wink.
Yep.
Anyway.
That's this week's video of us talking about.
No. Helen Keller.
Oh, I thought you said you didn't want to do it.
No, I will. I just needed more time
Okay. She's gonna go on a Helen Keller rant, so I'm gonna...
No, I need you to sit here and talk to me. I'm not just going to talk to them. This is a conversation between the two of us. This is a soft launch of our podcast. And I want to hear your rebuttal.
I don't really have a rebuttal. Like,
Helen Keller's a fucking liar. That bitch is a poser. 1000%.
we've introduced this.
She's a poser. She's lying. She lied. I'm not saying that she wasn't real. I believe she was real, but I think that she was a liar. Somebody lied.
How does she lie?
So you're telling me...
No. I'm saying, like, all those people around her, like, all those people that grew up with her and everything, and...
Somebody lied. Like,
they
down
all
the line.
just let her lie?
Well, somebody did. Somebody lied.
She had to have had enemies.
Have you not seen, like, what if okay, so I've done extensive research on Helen Keller. Like, I've done so much research. I did a whole project on why she wasn't real. I did a whole project on her, and I did all of her backstory before I even found out why she wasn't, like, she was lying, okay? So listen to this. So, Helen Keller was born... Okay, guys, camera died. But I have to finish, okay? I have to finish my little rant. I say little, it's not. I could go on for literally ever. Okay. Get your head up. Oh. Okay. So, basically, Helen Keller was born blind. If not, like, was blind within, like, the first few months of her being alive, okay? Helen Keller's mom found out that she was deaf while she was in the bath one day, okay?
Okay.
I know this, okay? I've done my research, I promise. And she was, like, I think it was, like, 19 months old, I want to say. Somewhere around there, right? She wasn't even, like, 2 yet. Okay? When do you learn to start talking normally?
I have no idea.
You learned at about, like, 2 or 3, right? You learn to start talking whenever you're a baby, around, like, 2 or 3. I mean, like, you can say, like, small shit, but, like, actually talking and, like, knowing what you're saying, 2 or 3, right?
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Okay. So, she was blind and deaf before she was 2 years old. Okay?
I don't mean to laugh.
Yes, you do.
Yeah.
She was blind and deaf, supposedly, before she was 2 years old, okay? See, now, if this was, like, 10 years down the road, I would believe it.
Plausible.
Okay, I believe that she might have been blind and deaf at 2 years old. I'm not saying that that's not true. Before she was 2, she was blind and deaf. Didn't really talk, couldn't say any words, okay? Okay?
Okay.
Basically, it says that her teacher taught her how to talk through...
Have you ever watched the Helen Keller movie?
No, fuck that bitch. I'm not putting any more effort into her than I already have.
Okay.
So,
Just asking.
her teacher taught... It says that her teacher taught her how to communicate through, like, spelling words in her hand, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you know what a letter is? Like, if I wrote a letter in your hand and you couldn't see it and you couldn't hear me tell you what letter it is, how the fuck do you know what letter I'm writing in your hand?
Hey, I agree.
That's what, like, that shit doesn't make any fucking sense, okay? That's just where it starts. So, you're telling me that she learned to communicate through people spelling stuff in her hand.
Even though she didn't understand what it was.
That's what I'm saying. Like, that shit does not add up. That doesn't make any sense. Like, she doesn't know what the letters are because she can't see what you're writing, nor can she hear. Like, if it was one or the other, fine. That makes sense. Perfectly plausible. But she can't see nor hear what you're saying. Literally makes no sense. There's absolutely no way. I don't believe it for a second. Okay? And then you're telling me that this bitch wrote 14 books?
Well, I mean...
How did she write them? She doesn't know what the fuck she was saying. She can't write a book without knowing what letters she's being spelled in her hand.
Like, she didn't actually have to, like, physically write them. Like, I'm not believing that she could, like...
Well, even if she didn't handwrite them herself or hand typewrite them herself, I don't give a fuck. Even if she didn't do that personally, she did not write those books. She did not put those words on those pages or tell somebody what words to put on pages. She doesn't know what words are. She doesn't know what letters are.
What are her books about?
I have no idea. I would never buy one.
Like, are they fiction?
I hope they're
Does
sci-fi.
she write, like, novels?
Schmut. But, like, how is she writing books? And, like, how is she...
She flew a plane.
I'm getting there.
Oh.
Don't even worry. I promise I know everything that this woman's done in her life. How is she writing books if she doesn't know what letters are? Okay? Like, that is, like, it does not add up. Does not make sense. Okay? And they also said that her first word that she spoke was the word water, okay? Because her teacher put water in her hand. How the fuck does she know what it's called? It doesn't make sense.
Maybe she just wasn't deaf.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's something that does not add up. She wasn't deaf. Like, she wasn't fully deaf. She wasn't fully blind. Like, it was later on in her life. Like, something doesn't add up to make her story completely plausible. You're telling me this girl went blind and deaf before she was 2 years old, wrote 14 books, flew a plane, did, like, speeches and shit, and beat the fuck out of her teacher? You're lying.
She was some ass.
She did. Like, what do you mean? Like, that one? Okay, whatever. Contact is contact, but, like...
Yeah, you don't...
You don't know what you're doing. If you can't see or hear, you don't know what's going on.
You just... She's like, what's the one where they, like, feel the vibration? Like, Kung Fu Panda? I'm dying with.
Skadoosh. But, like, it literally just does not make sense. She didn't write 14 books. She didn't go and do speeches. Like, it was said that she did, like, motivational speeches and stuff. Like, and she was a speaker and, like, spoke at places. No, she fucking wasn't.
I would need to meet somebody
I need proof. Like, I just have to have something. And I'm like 99% sure they would tell me something along the lines of she couldn't really talk or she wasn't really deaf. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't make sense. Absolutely does not add up. I've never thought that it added up for the past 5 years of my life. After she was a motivational speaker, she wrote all these books. She did book readings. Wrong. She can't even read. She can't fucking see. Doesn't make sense. Whatever. You're telling me she flew a plane. How the fuck did she fly a plane? She couldn't see. She couldn't see the handles. She couldn't hear anybody tell her what the handles were. So even if she could feel them, she didn't know what she was touching. Nobody could tell her. She couldn't fucking hear. You could, oh, they wrote stuff in her hand. No, they fucking didn't. She didn't know what those letters were. It all goes back to the beginning. Full fucking circle. She's a liar. Insert the picture of Helen Keller flying that fucking plane, because that shit's hilarious. Give me your phone.
Well, she also had, like, a co-pilot, no?
Okay, maybe she did, but that doesn't mean that means that she didn't fly the plane. She just sat there.
Well, I don't know. Maybe your
But,
hand's
like,
on the wheel. You're technically driving something.
It's just like it just doesn't, like, none of it adds up. Like, it really doesn't.
I mean,
make
I
sense.
agree. Something's fishy.
And everybody wants to say, oh, she did this and she did that and she was amazing even though she was deaf and blind. Well, you know what? She didn't do shit.
Adamant.
She didn't do anything. She's a liar. She's a poser. And I could go into heavier detail if I needed to. This is already a 10-minute long rant about Helen Keller, and I could keep going.
She could keep going.
I could. I just can't, like, I will never wrap my brain around it. Like, you can say, oh, don't disrespect her like that. Who gives a fuck? she's dead, first of all. She's looking down on you from the heavens. Well, she can't hear me, so it doesn't matter. I don't care. She's a poser. Whatever. That's all I have to say.
Who has ever said that Helen Keller is looking down on you from the heavens?
Sorry, she's looking up at me from hell because she's a fucking liar. I don't care. She can't hear me. Doesn't matter.
Not what I meant at all. Not what I meant at all. But okay. What the hell?
I don't care. I literally don't. That's where she belongs. Because she's a liar. If somebody admits to Helen Keller being a liar, I will forgive her for the rest of my life, and I will never speak another bad word about her again. But until then, she can't tell me that she's lying, so I have no reason to believe she's not. I've added up all of the facts together. I made a slideshow. My English teacher gave me a 70 on it, but I don't care because it was good. There's never been somebody that's tried to convince me otherwise. Oh, no, she did that, and this is how she did it. No, she didn't. You're lying.
No, she didn't.
No, she didn't.
What the hell was that?
You touched my foot.
No,
Yes, you did.
Did I?
Yeah.
I didn't feel it.
You did. It was like just like a barely, like you just barely touched it, so I pulled it back.
Oh, I
You scared
didn't.
me.
I didn't feel it.
Oh.
I didn't even know your foot was right there. What if you're related to Helen Keller?
I'll kill myself. Why would you ever put that in?
Somebody's gotta be.
Better not be me.
Did she have kids?
That didn't show up on my ancestry. No, because she didn't know. What? Imagine. Fucking imagine.
No children from what I can see.
Good.
So she became deaf after she had an illness at 19 months.
Yeah. She didn't just become deaf out of nowhere, but she had like, I think it was scarlet fever.
At 19 months?
Mm-hmm. And it was really
How
bad.
did she not die?
Well, she went deaf and she was already blind, so she was like 90% there.
Since when does scarlet fever affect your hearing? I don't know.
Well, whenever
anything
you
about
get-
scarlet fever,
I don't
if
either.
I'm honest, I don't know why I pretended like I knew a thing or two.
I don't know. And but even like back then when they didn't really have medication for it or anything, and like it's gonna affect something if it doesn't kill you. You know what I mean? And especially whenever you're that young, like it's going to affect things that aren't fully developed yet. And her eyes were already not developed at all, so her ears were the next best thing. I just refuse to believe that she did anything good for society.
She created the Blind Foundation
How did she do that?
with help.
She didn't do shit. She wasn't like, oh my god, guys, I have an idea. Nobody said that. Everybody was like, Helen, just sit here and pretend you did something. And she said, that was it. That's all she fucking said. I stand by that 1010%.
Hey, I'm standing on this rock with you.
I'm glad you
I
are.
think everybody's standing on this rock
Thank
with
you. I really appreciate that. I love the support.
But I mean, I don't know what to say.
You don't have to say anything. I'm just like making a point
Like, I
right now.
agree, but she, she's a figure. She is
She's
there.
a figure of. Not even. I can't keep calling her names. I'm gonna go to hell.
Yeah, what if you're just completely wrong?
How would I be wrong? It literally doesn't make sense.
I don't know. I'm just saying, what if you're wrong? Because then you're just horrible.
Honestly, you can't blame me for wanting to believe in science. That's why I said until proved otherwise, I will think she's fake. If you prove me wrong, fine, I'm willing to listen. That's what it is.
Yeah, but anybody could pull up, like, anything that she did. And be like,
But they can't prove she did it. If you prove me wrong, like give me something that is full proof that she wrote that book, or she flew that fucking plane, or she said the word water, you're lying, first of all. But second of all, if you give me full proof that she learned how to write and was blind and deaf, I'll believe you, and I have no reason not to. Give me proof that is real, I'm fine. That's fine. I'll listen.
Okay.
I will listen. If somebody
I
has
mean, I don't have the proof.
if somebody has proof or somebody has a rebuttal, I will gladly listen. I will gladly call me. DM me on Instagram. I don't care.
If it needs the proof.
That's what I'm saying. Like, if you don't have proof, don't tell me that, oh, you're terrible for saying that. No. She's terrible for being a liar. That's it. Is what it is. If you have proof, send it to me. If you don't, shut up. Just like Helen Keller did.
Apologize.
No.
That one was far.
Poser! Technically, she didn't shut up because she learned how to talk. No, she didn't.
You're going back and forth now. I'm getting whiplash.
I'm just saying. Like, you can't tell me I'm wrong for saying, oh, she didn't talk. Well, you know what? If she wrote a book, then she fucking talked.
You gotta watch the movie, man.
I'm not watching that fucking movie. What is the movie about?
Helen Keller.
I know enough. I know more than you.
You know what actually is the longest fight scene in cinematic history? The Helen Keller movie has the longest fight scene in cinematic history. I think still to this date. Yeah! It's fucking laughable.
Up. What?
It's like 12 minutes long, yeah. Of just her fighting her teacher. And the actress actually got hurt, like the teacher.
I believe that.
Let's see if I can find it.
I want to watch all 12 minutes of it. Alright, guys. Well, that was my Helen Keller rant. It was literally 20 minutes long. Honestly, I could do more if need be. But I'm sleepy, and we're going to watch this video of Helen Keller fighting her teacher. So, and go to bed. Yeah, so. Okay. Bye. Emma.